This video is brought to you by Channel Grim and Grin's own Screams from the Crypt. 20 tales of horror, sci-fi, and suspense. Available now. Hello, I'm Grimgrindo and welcome back to not only the 4th episode of Beginner's Luck, but back to the 2nd episode of Beginner's Luck dealing with The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Oh, and how time has flown. When we last saw this game in Beginner's Luck, it was episode 2 and we were doing all of the Child Link bosses at once, and yet here we are only 2 episodes later and Link is all grown up. Though I suppose he's not all that grown up, as after all, we're still rocking only the 3 heart pieces that you get at the start of the game. I did look up a few Let's Plays before recording this, and one of them had 9 heart pieces at this point, another had 10, and a third had 13, so going into this boss battle with only 3 definitely puts me at somewhat of a disadvantage. Fortunately though, I am the greatest gamer to ever live, so I should really have no trouble with it. That's of course discounting the fact that at the start of this video, it did not show the short cutscene that introduces Phantom Ganon, which strongly indicates to anyone paying attention that this is not in fact my first attempt at doing this during the Beginner's Luck Challenge. So let's just ignore that, pretend no one noticed, and make believe that this is totally my first attempt here and not my third. And I know what you're thinking at this point. You're thinking, hang on Grim, this is a Beginner's Luck video, and you've not yet mentioned Lylat Wars. Aren't you going to bring up Star Fox and make some kind of asinine remark about how this boss battle is vaguely similar to a completely different incident in another game? Well, no, of course not. It's absolutely nothing like Lylat Wars at all. It doesn't even begin to resemble a battle of Andros. I mean, after all, it starts with Phantom Ganon running through paintings, which never at any point happens in Star Fox, and if anything, this boss battle is a lot more like Mario 64 or Looney Tunes back in action. Oh darn, I've done it again. But we're well past the paintings at this point, so let's talk about the second element here. I've always enjoyed this part of the battle. It's like Harry Potter meets Mario Tennis, which is the digital, far better version of the real-life game tennis. I'm usually far better at timing these rallies, see that I even use a proper sports term there, so clearly I'm great at this and sports and video games in general. I'm totally not usually bad at it, it's just that I'm a lot more nervous in this boss battle than I would normally be, as normally at this point I would have another 10 heart pieces at my disposal to back me up, and probably even a bottled fairy standing by. I mean, it's literally down to the wire here. The warning sign of my low health is beeping. If I take a single hit, I die, and we'll have to start the battle all over again, which, you know, that's super high stakes, right? So if you think it's nerve-wracking watching it, imagine how it is playing it. Though, fortunately, if cartoons have taught me anything over the years, which they in fact have, and if anything have taught me everything, it's that to defeat evil, all you need is good. And fortunately, I'm not just good, I'm great. And so Phantom Ganon has been busted like the ghost he is. I've always really enjoyed this boss battle. Phantom Ganon is super creepy, and even in death he's creepy. It doesn't really feel so much like a victory as a foreboding omen of doom, so that's a pretty pleasant note to leave on. And speaking of segues, if you enjoy spooky ghosts, horrible phantoms, and omens of doom, then I suggest you check out Grin's new novel, Screams from the Crypt, as heard by Darkwell Bled, available in the description below. It's 20 tales of sci-fi horror and suspense, and much like Phantom Ganon, is plenty unsettling. Also available in the description below is a link to my Twitter and the Channel Grim and Grin Discord, the Echo Chamber. And so, with all of that said and done, thanks for watching, and until next time, I have been and still am Grim Grindle. Next week's episode we're back to Dandara, but then after that, who knows, maybe I'll fight a dragon. Screams from the Crypt, as heard by Darkwell Bled. 20 tales of horror, sci-fi, and suspense. Available now.